Okay, mathematicians, I really hope that on the warm up you chose the 500,000 cookies because who wouldn't want more cookies? The reason I know that I chose 500,000 cookies and that is more or greater than 500 is because of a couple strategies that I use. The first one is our place value chart. This is super important to understand the value of 500,000 versus the value of 500. So let's take a look. I can take my 500,000 and identify each place value. So let's take a look here. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. I have 5 in the 100,000s, which means I need to put 5 of my symbols here. I'm going to do that now. My first 100,000 is a group of 10 10,000s. Remember that in this first rectangular prism up there, there's 10,000 cookies. In the second one, there's 10,000, 10,000. So these 10 make 100,000, but I don't need 100,000, I need 5. So I'm going to insert 5 of these groups of 10,000s. All right. 100, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. Now to showcase my 500, I need to figure out what it can represent my hundreds. I know it's hundreds because 1, 10s, hundreds. Same thing here in my standard form, ones, tens, hundreds. I know that the flat square represents 100 little cookies in there, but we don't need 100, we need 5. So we're going to insert 5. And there they are, 500. Now, when we're comparing two numbers, we always start from the left side. So we're always going to start with the leftmost digit. In this case, it's a 5. In this case, it's a 5. So wouldn't you say, well, they're both 5s? Wouldn't that make them equal? No, because this 5 has a different value than this 5, and we see that here. This 5 is 500,000s. This 5 is landing just in the hundreds. So if we look at 500,000s versus or compared to 500, we can see that 500,000 is greater than. And a quick reminder for greater than and less than. Greater than, the open alligator mouth always chomps the greater number. So here's our example. We have a simple 8 and 3. The 8 is bigger, so the open alligator mouth goes towards the 8, just as it is here, and this symbolizes greater than. If we wanted to show less than, we would point the closed alligator mouth to the smaller number. So we're going to showcase 500,000 is greater than 500. We can see that here. One more quick reminder before moving on. If the digits are equal, and I don't mean equal over here, these are not equal. They're in different place values. But if they were for some reason in the same place value and they were indeed equal, remember that we show equal as an equal sign. The alligator doesn't know what to do, so we consider them equal. Let's try an example here. We're going to start at the left, always left-hand side, and we compare the digits in each place value position. So we have 651,028. We also have 665,188. We can use our place value chart to represent both numbers, just as we did in the previous example. Or in this example, we can move from left to right. So here's step 2, moving to the second digit. If we start here and look all the way to the left, we notice that the 6s are equal. Does that mean both of these whole numbers are equal? No. It does mean that the 600,000 and the 600,000 are equal. Yes. But we can't stop there. We have to keep moving to the next place value down. And that is shown here in step 2. So we compared our 6s. We said they were equal, but we can't stop there. Then we go to the right and we compare our next digit. In this case, this is the 10,000s spot. So we said the 100,000s were equal. We better move to the right and see if these are equal. These are not equal. The 5 and 6 is what we're comparing here. Really, it's 50,000 versus 60,000. The 60,000 is greater. We can stop and understand that 665,188 is greater than 651,000. We would write the full number like this. We're saying this one is greater. 665,188. And we would say that that is greater than, alligator mouth is eating the larger number, is greater than this guy, 651,028. So to review, we can use the place value chart to insert our symbols or draw them in to compare our numbers. We can use the standard form and simply move from left to right. And as we do that, we start to see differences and we're able to compare which one is greater than or less than. And a final strategy would be using a number line, as in this example. So it wants us to compare 15,327 and 15,341. Just listening or reading these standard forms, I can already hear there's a difference, but I'm not sure which one's bigger, smaller, greater than, less than. So let's take a look. You can place these numbers onto the number line so you can visually see which one is greater than and which one is less than, or maybe they end up being equal. So let's take a look. We're going to start with the 15,327. So on my number line, it starts with 15,300, and then it goes by tens. So this will be 15,301, 15,302, 303, 304, 15,305, all the way up to 310. So I'm looking for 15,327. So I need 15,310, 20. Here we go. So this is 15,000. 300 is here, and now I'm in my 20s. 27. So I need to move from here 7 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Here is where my 15,327 is on the number line. Now I'm going to look for my 15,341 on the number line. So 15,300, 310, 320. Remember, I'm looking for 341, 330, 340. I found my 340, but I need 15,341. I need to identify my ones place. So if this is 15,341, it lands here. We can now see visually where both of these numbers lie. We can see that the first one lies here on the number line, and the second one lies here on the number line. So we have to think, which one is greater than the other one? Well, if our number line's moving this way and gets bigger, then our second number, our blue one, must be greater. So when they're written here, we can say that 15,341 because that's our blue one and it lands much higher on the number line, is greater than. So my open alligator mouth, would go towards that number. We need to be careful when we're labeling greater than or less than, or as we used to call it, our alligator mouth. We need to be careful because if I were to simply write in the first one I see, this opening or the greater than is pointing towards this number. And we decided that that number was not the bigger one. We decided that the bigger one, or the digits that had more value, was the second number. So we would need to make sure that we're being very careful, and we are switching this so it's showing that 15,327 is less than 15,341, as this is the biggest number. You are now going to try this skill on your own, and you can use one of the 3 strategies in order to solve which number is greater than or less than, or maybe they are equal. Do not forget that you can start with your place value chart by drawing that out and visually seeing it. You can also use our steps where we move from left to right, where we start with the greatest place value and then we check the second place value. Remember that if these were still the same, you'd go to the third place value, you'd move your way down. But the second you see that they are different, then you should be able to figure out which one is greater than and which one is less than. The third strategy you can use is drawing a number line and placing both of your numbers onto the number line to solve and visually see which one is greater than or less than.